What's up, friends? Picking up where we left off, I'm going to show you how to quant mine and core mine. So you can do this with rented ship. Quant mining is very difficult to do with a rented ship, not because you can't crack the rocks, but because it is so dangerous, maybe is the best way to put it, to do without the arbor laser. So if you buy a Prospector, number one thing people recommend, it's already on the pad, but it's to get an arbor laser. Those are much better. They have a much lower, rather like a much higher tolerance, so it is much less likely to. Oh, I want to go to pad 3, not hangar 3. I'm struggling with elevators today. So, but you basically, the instability will have less of an impact on the laser. That's the long story short about it. And the reason why that's important with quant mining is because it is very unstable compared to other substances. It is magnitudes more unstable. And when it explodes, it will kill you. It won't just. There are other ores that will render your shields inoperable, or knock your power off, or even sometimes it won't kill you, but they'll make it so you're a sitting duck. So it's like none of your power modules. It just blows all your fuses. So you know, that's a thing. I do want to say one thing, a couple pieces of advice for Prospector. Use stealth modules to lower your EM output, just so it's more difficult for people to find you and grief you. Pirates included, like NPCs will also try to find you when you have a Prospector. They'll also try to fight you. I find that repeaters are fine for killing most of the pirates that will come after you. If it's like a Cuddy, you're toasted, but if it's a Buccaneer, you can usually take them on. Then the only trick is to find out how to get into your seat. You kind of have to stand behind it just a little bit. I'm going to power on real quick. So, and it comes pre-equipped with 2 Badgers, so there's no reason to... I don't think... Or Bulldogs, rather. Not even Badgers. There's 2 size 1s, and I don't even think they're gimbaled. I think that they're just fixed. So, like, you can kind of fight. Oh, I think it only has 1 size 1 shield, so it's just this, don't get into a fight. The other thing that I would do definitely as a Prospector is I would focus on the quantum drive, and the reason for that is that you're going to be jumping between the L1s and the little Grange points and the moons where you're trying to go to. And for quant mining, Illyria is king. You can mine this out in the... Oh, come on. There we go. So sensitive. Oh, that's close. We were like right up against the station. Must have been rotating. But this jump, 3 million kilometers, it's not bad, but doing it in a VK00 is so much nicer. This will save hours of your life in total. It goes this ride goes very slowly on the base drive, and then you have to wait for the cooldown is much longer as well. So it takes you longer to get there, takes you longer for your cooldown to decrease, and it takes you longer to get to the moon. And you are going to have to come back after you mine, if you're solo mining, after you mine 1 or maybe 2 rocks. And I would keep your the other thing that it does for you is that it makes it so you can try to get 2 rocks. I think with the base quantum drive you can only get 1. The reason for that being it just takes so long to quantum travel and for it to spool up. You, instead of having, I find 7 minutes to be like a fairly safe. I've never really run into issues with 7 minutes of time left jumping off Illyria. With the regular drive, I think that probably is like 8 or even 9 minutes. So you only have 4 minutes from your first moment of pulling it to docking at a station. And that's because, and you're going to see up here, this volatile cargo button will go off. But after you pick up your very first piece of Quantanium, you have 14 minutes to take it back to a station and dump it into a refinery. If you are in the ship when the timer goes off, it will explode and kill you. If you are out of the ship, and this is where some videos were wrong that I've watched, it will not necessarily blow up your ship. So you need to respawn a ship if you have stored it, but it definitely will make it so your Quantanium has changed into inert material. So you go from having a really valuable cargo to having trash cargo, just like that. So you see we've already calibrated. The cooldown there's only like 5 seconds, so it's quite fast. The jump is super quick. You do burn through quant fuel faster like this, but it's not bad. I actually do want to say, I think that this is the base engine. So you can see the cooldown here. The travel distance is taking longer. I think I had to do a character reset a couple of days ago, and whenever you do that, you have to remember to put the new engines back into your ship, and I did not do that. So, okay, once you get to the moon, 2 rules of thumb. Some people like to always go to the Shubin processing facility, so that's what we'll do here. But you want to keep your eye on where the sun is on the planet and where it's moving. Looks like the center of it is really like up in here, so we'll go to this Shubin mining facility, Sal 5. Personally, I haven't noticed a big difference impacting the geographical destination that you're going to or the terrain type. You just have to look around. That's not like a better way to describe that. And it takes a little bit of try harding to find Quantanium specifically. So we're gonna get to work here. Just shift off your quantum computer. This looks like this might be a group of them, so I'm gonna come and check these. Anytime you find a group of stones on Lyria, it is 99% Quantanium. I think I was watching some video where the only time it's not, and I found this to be personally true, is if there are 2 stones that spawn randomly together. But whenever you happen upon a group like this, it's always Quantanium. So we're gonna switch on my scanning mode, and then I like to funnel this all the way down to 2%. And then you usually have to get within, I'd say 150 is usually pretty safe. And you just squeeze down on your scanner, and you're gonna watch the bar on the right hand side slowly move up, and you're seeing here we have 2% Quantanium. Not worth it. I do want to keep my eye on mass is the most important thing. This laser cannot crack anything bigger than 5200. So this is also 2%. If this is all we have, I'll show you that. So this one's a 3100 mass rock, and once you've scanned it, as soon as you mouse over the other one, it's going to give you the reading almost instantaneously. I think for at least a full minute. It might be a little bit longer. It's not forever. So this one is 42% Quantanium and a mass of 8100. I can't crack that. You have to have, you can only get about 5200 max. What you could do is, if you're having a friend play, especially even if they don't have a Prospector, they can just rent one, and they can use that very unstable laser to inject like a standard 50% or even 25%, depending on the size of the rock. This one would probably have to be 75 or even 80%, and they just leave it there. You, as the person with the Arbor laser, the more expensive, more precise laser, are going to entirely control how much power you're hitting it with. So they're going to keep it steady, and you're going to hit it with the necessary power level. And that's like a 40% rock. That would fill 2 people's cargo bays. Not all the way full, but you'd probably get 20 SCUs of cargo, of Quantanium cargo there, which would be probably around 180,000 per person right there. So 360,000 in Quantanium ore just out of that one rock. All right, I'm not having great luck here. The 5% one is probably the one we're gonna have to settle for. And ore mining is going to be the same exact way. Other people have other videos that you can look up that are a little bit more specific on which ores are best. I personally found agricium to be the easiest one to mine, just because even if it's in low percentages, it usually occurs at higher percentages to start off, but if it's in low percentages, it will break off into 100% chunks. So it makes it very easy to mine and to get only exactly what you need. So here we're going to start our mining process. We're going to go ahead and hit this with a laser, and then I'm going to start manually adjusting the laser intensity. You're going to see that on the left hand side. If you have like an analog stick or something that you can scroll that's not your mouse wheel, it's going to make your life so much easier. The VKB Gladiator specifically I found to be so helpful for this purpose, just because I can immediately set it to the power threshold that I want. And you're going to notice it goes up relatively quick. As soon as it hits the green, you're going to want to drop down the power. Here it dropped out immediately, but you're going to notice it goes almost immediately back up to red. I'm getting a slight lag and delay here. Just a little frustrating. And if it goes back down, then that power level of the green is going to drop down as well. And when it is bright and sunny outside, you can see where you're flying, but it's much harder to see that power readout. And it's been like a good week or so since I've mined Quantanium, so exact numbers are escaping me. Depending on the percentage, you see here we just dipped into red, and it's going to keep increasing, and that will kill us if that stays in the red for too long. We're just having a little bit of server lag here today. This rock should be exploded by now. And not like kill me exploded, like cracked open exploded. There we go. It's just a little bit laggy. You can also just fly out with your mining arm out and it scans rocks automatically. I find the scanner to be just a little bit quicker, but follow your heart. And you just want to scan each of the rocks individually and just find the one or ones that are that have Quantanium. I'm guessing it is, once you start doing this, it'll be almost immediately apparent which ones have Quantanium and which ones don't, just based on that green window that it gives you. So you'll notice here that one is much larger green optimal window. That's because there's no Quantanium. So when there is Quantanium, as this one has 45%, you're going to hit this one. You're going to want to check that you're in optimal range. That's on the left side, showing up here. If you are too far away, it's going to put you into sufficient range, which is fine, but not great. Optimal is definitely better. But as long as you're in optimal range, you'll be solid there. And then we do have that filter XL module on, which is showing up on the left hand side. The filter is one of the few modules that just is omnipresent, like it's always there. You don't have to do anything special for it. This rock is extremely sensitive here. I'm actually questioning whether or not this has my arbor laser on it. If I didn't put on the quant drive, it probably doesn't have my custom laser. So this is truly a representation of what it's like to try to mine this in a rented ship. And it is difficult to do. You know, it's just hard to keep that power window. Oh. And it will continue to supercharge the rock in the critical range. So yeah, I can't say this enough. Go get yourself your own prospector. We're having some serious server lag here too. Alright, now it's responding. Oh, this is just not the right laser for this. And you can feel it. If it stays in there for too long, it's gonna explode on us. So I'm gonna back up just a little. I'm flirting with death here. Alright, we got it. So the power was too critical, the rock exploded, and it knocked out our shields, as you just saw. So the quant probably exploded. We'll see, we might get lucky here. Yes, if it's purple, that means you can start extracting it. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we lost that rock. So this is why you don't want to quant mine in a rented prospector. And I thought I had the right one on, but I'm gonna have to go buy another laser since that's back on Orison. I don't want to mess with that. So let's go show you how to mine something that's not quantanium. It's not going to endanger your. Let's see how badly. Yeah, our engines are spluttering a little bit here. I think it totally knocked out our shield module. We were at 0% shields and it's refusing to charge. So, like I said, it will kill you. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be at the top of the red. You want it to be at 0. Okay, you're just going to check these. If it's over 5,000, that one was 7,000 mass. Don't even bother. You're just teasing yourself. If you get down below 1,000, it's not going to be boulders. Instead, it's going to be little gem formations. These are what you mine with your rock. You can mine these with the prospector. I find it easier to get out of like the sufficient range, but it goes immediately into critical power. So you can try to do that manually. It's very difficult to do on Lyria just because of the flaring that comes out of the ice and snow. There were more in clusters behind us, so that would have been a little bit easier to do, but those of you who've known me for a long time, as I like to say, we can't all be geniuses, myself included. So I just like to kind of buzz this. It does slow down. It's a big boy. It's a girthy ship, so it does in atmosphere. It slows down pretty well on its own. But you can set your speed limit to whatever you feel comfortable with. This one is a boulder. You can tell it by looking at them. So we have the mining module I'll show you here. We see a gneiss deposit. Looking for a mass reading is on the right hand side, and then it's going to give you your displays down below. So aluminum, diamond, and tungsten are all pretty trash. Just going to keep looking. Lyria is not the best place to go for other types of minerals. This is, I can tell from being this close and them not popping up, that's gems. So I was lucky to come upon that quantanium deposit right from the beginning. Usually you have to look around a little bit for it. And even though people say, oh, they're guaranteed to be in clusters, quantanium deposits, sometimes the best quantanium deposits I've found are still solo rocks. So it is still, we're checking, this one's at 55. I noticed that green window is really large on this one. So I feel fairly confident that this isn't going to be good, but I'll just show you guys why I feel that. Yeah, tungsten's pretty garbage. Laranite's not bad, but it's only 5%, so it's probably not worth doing. Usually you're looking for at least 10%, and that's for quantanium as well, by the way. We lost thrusters and they're restarting for some reason. Getting major torque imbalances. I would not recommend. This is not for the faint of heart. $62.46. Also explains why I only had one module option. So on the rented chip, the base model of the laser is only going to give you one option. Yeah, our power, if you look up at our power, we are barely hanging in here. And, oh, I don't know how we survived that. Alright, honestly at this point, so it's up to you how you want to play this. Because this has a filter Excel module on it, I probably do want to just get back. Weird stuff is happening with my power where it's bouncing up and down. Sometimes you can you can just reset the ship. Yeah, we're just gonna need to get out of here. Yeah, that's the end of that. So that's why you gotta be careful when you're prospector mining. So make sure you have the right lasers and the right outfit for what you're doing. Again, if you're not doing Quantanium, you're just doing a Grecium, the base laser works fine. It's much more stable. Find a Grecium is kind of that happy medium where it's not super unstable, so it's definitely doable. It still gets enough money that's worth doing. And you can just sell the ore directly at half cost. Or you can use Dynex solvanation at the station and trade it in for that. So I hope you guys appreciated this video. If you didn't, let me know. And until next time, good luck out there, have some fun, and keep on gaming. Bye for now.